On the 48th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we are going to be talking about the NHL and NBA playoffs. We are going to be ranking the top 10 basketball players of all time. We're going to be talking about the Birmingham Southern College D3 story, the unfortunate loss of Grayson Murray, merch of the week, and we're going to end it off with some Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. All right, so we are going to start episode 48 of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, and NBA and NHL playoffs are happening, and they are happening now. Now, I want the Rangers to win it all just because, I don't know. I want the Rangers to win it all, and they are tied with the Florida Panthers with 1-1. And on the west side of the bracket, the Stars and Oilers are playing, and they are also tied 1-1. Now, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals was a little, not shaky. It was a blowout. Florida won 3-0 against the Rangers, but there was an own goal, and then it wasn't a blowout. I know I said blowout. It wasn't a blowout. It was just a lot of mistakes made by the Rangers. And again, you can't win without scoring a goal, so there's also that part of the offense that the Rangers didn't have, but whatever. And then Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Rangers won in overtime. I thought it was going to go into another second overtime, and then obviously on the Western side, the Stars and Oilers did also go into, I think it went into 2 overtimes in Game 1. I want to say it was Game 1, yeah. And so they are also tied. So it's all tied up. It's basically it's first of 4. So it's just, best of 5 now? After they're tied 1-1. So it's a whole new series for both of them. I'm really hoping the Rangers win it all. And so there is that. So there's not too much. Again, the Rangers are kind of showing, hey, we have a chance at beating Florida. I still think Florida's going to beat the Rangers, but I'm hoping that New York pulls away through with it and makes it to the Cup. And then the Stars and Oilers, I think it could be a close series. I mean, it's obviously close. They're tied 1-1 right now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on the West side. But again, I think the Panthers will beat the Rangers, but I hope the Rangers beat the Panthers. NBA. So NBA is where I'm a little bit more knowledgeable on. So they are also in the conference finals. So we have the Mavs and Timberwolves, and the Mavs are winning 2-0. The 5 seed is beating the 3 seed in the conference finals. Man, Luka and Gobert got a little bit of beef, and I don't speak Slovenian or however you say it, but Luka hitting that game winner 3. It was probably it was almost half court. It was almost from the logo against Gobert, and talking trash to Gobert showed him what's up, and that is the best thing I've seen Luka do. Not physically, but on the court. It was amazing to see that. And again, it went down to the wire. There was 3 seconds left, and they just couldn't get a shot up. So the Mavs did end up winning that game. We got the Celtics and Pacers, and the Celtics are straight dominating the Pacers. Oh, my goodness. The Celtics are up 3-0 against the Pacers. The Pacers have to win 4 straight to wanting to go to the NBA Finals, and obviously that's not going to happen. The Celtics are going to make it to the NBA Finals, and the Celtics are going to win the NBA Finals, like I said a month ago. It was probably closer to 2 months ago at this point. But so the Celtics are going to go to the Finals unless the Pacers can somehow pull off a miracle. I mean, it would be a miracle on the court, not a miracle on ice. Miracle on court. And then the Mavericks, Timberwolves, I think the Mavs will win. Again, being up 2-0 is big in a first of 4, best of 7 series. Game 3 is tonight for the Western Conference Finals. The Mavs and Timberwolves 8:00 tonight. And again, I think the Mavs will win. I think the Mavs will beat the Timberwolves again. Maybe the Timberwolves might win this game, but I think after that, the Mavs are going to take it. Maybe it might go into 5 games. The Celtics and Pacers, on the other hand, I think it just goes in 4. They're playing Monday night, which is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I think the Celtics are going to win. There's no point. Like, the Pacers, I know they want to win. It's just unrealistic for them to win. The Celtics are just absolutely crazy. They've only lost 2 games in the playoffs so far out of, 13 games. So they're 11-2 in the playoffs. The Pacers, on the other hand, have lost... Oop, that's not the Pacers. They've lost 2-5-3. 10. They've lost 10 games, and they've only won 8. Wait, how's that possible? So, they've lost 10 games, and they've only won 5. 5 and 3. No, sorry. They've lost 8 games. They've won 8 games. And again, so the ratio of wins to loss from the Celtics 11-2 record to the Pacers record in the playoffs is just unmatchable. I think everybody knew going into the conference finals when they saw that the Pacers were going to play the Celtics, that the Celtics were just going to absolutely destroy them. But here we are. And then next week, or is it next week? Oh, yeah. Next week is when the finals happen. And again, I think it'll be Mavs and Celtics. And I want the Mavs to win. I want the Mavericks. If the Mavericks make it to the finals and if the Celtics make it to the finals, I want the Mavericks to win. But realistically, I think the Celtics are going to win. Again, like I've said since, March or April. But there's that. The Pacers could get swept. And so, that's pretty much it for for the NBA. I am going to rank the top 10 basketball players of all time. You guys are probably going to disagree with me, but hey, guess what? I'm sorry, you guys are wrong. I'm right. This is my list, not yours. If you want to make your list, send them to me, and I might feature them on here. But this is my top 10 basketball players of all time. At number 1, we have the greatest basketball player of all time. He is the GOAT. You can say whatever you want. He is the greatest basketball player of all time. We got Michael Jordan in the one hole. At number 2, we do have the runner-up, LeBron James. Absolutely amazing. He is runner-up to the GOAT. People argue that he's the GOAT. He's not. I hate to break it to you, he's not. The 90s were much harder to play in than today, I think, and I still think, even if they were the same, that MJ was better than LeBron, but LeBron locks in his spot at number 2. At number 3, we have one of the best, probably the best center of all time, Bill Russell, at number 3. At number 4, we have Dodgers part owner Magic Johnson, point guard. Again, he played in that 90s kind of era. Who has the second most points of all time. We have, again, one of the greatest centers of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 5 hole. At number 6, we have center Wilt Chamberlain. At number 7, we have power forward Tim Duncan. Number 8, we have the white man Larry Bird, power forward. At number 9, we have one of the most dominant basketball players of all time, Shaquille O'Neal. And then in the 10, rest in peace. Every time you shoot a basket, you got to say his name. We got Kobe Bryant. People would argue that he's higher in the list, but in my list, you got a lot of contenders up here, and Kobe just he made his way in there. Be happy that he made his way in there. So that is my top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. Again, number 1, we have MJ. 2, LeBron. 3, Bill Russell. 4, Magic Johnson. 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 6, we got Wilt Chamberlain. 7, Tim Duncan. 8, Larry Bird. 9, Shaquille O'Neal. And 10, Kobe Bryant. All right, so that is my top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. And so that's about it. What else we got? All right. One of the wildest stories we have seen in college baseball in a long time, probably since Paul Skeens, is a Division III school, well, actually not a school, a Division III baseball team going to the World Series. And they have everything, the odds are all against them, but they are like, hey, we are going to win that ring. The Birmingham Southern College has made it to the Division III NCAA World Series, but they will not be, they're representing their school, Birmingham Southern College, but that college will not officially be a college in a few days. The start of the World Series is May 31st, and that is when the school's like, hey, we are no longer school. So this D3 team is going to the World Series, not representing a team or representing a school that does not exist. Good for them. But hey, guess what? Everything else is against them. 9 kids before they clinched their spot in the World Series had food poisoning. 2 were hospitalized. Half the team was had IVs hooked up to them behind the dugout. Again, it's D3. They're not great dugouts. They're like your average high school baseball fields. But yeah, they were just apparently all sick. I don't know what they had for a team meal the night before. But again, 2 were hospitalized. Half the team was hooked up to IVs throughout the game. But they still ended up winning, clinching their spot in the NCAA Division III World Series. I hope they win. There's a lot of odds against them. And again, they're not playing for a school. Their school is... They're still a school right now, but after May 31st, they'll no longer have a school, which is unfortunate. But if they win, that would make history. So yep, we have. All right. So yeah, who are they playing? I'm not sure who they are playing. Who is in the D3 College World Series? I won't even just say it. Championship bracket. 1 second. Let's look at this bracket we got over here. They don't even fill out oh my goodness, they have a blank bracket. That's how much D3 schools count. Oh my goodness, it's just a blank bracket they got on NCAA.com. Wait 1 second, that can't be right. It's just a blank bracket I see here. 1 second, let me try to find this bracket for D3 NCAA D3 college baseball bracket 2024. They have like a bracket, but they don't have teams on them. Oh my goodness. Is this really how much Division III schools are like showing appreciation of? Here we go. Oh no, that's D1. I don't know. I can't find a bracket for the Division III College World Series, which is absolutely wild. I know like it's D3, but come on. But anyway, Grayson Murray was announced dead. PGA Tour winner announced dead on Saturday, May 25th. On Friday, he withdrew from from a tournament with PGA. It was kind of unexpected. Nobody really thought that he was going to die. I was on this TV just before I started it. They're interviewing different players and stuff like that. But I don't know. He withdrew from the tournament Friday, and then again we were filming this on May 26th, and he was dead. I don't know if nobody's come out with any information. The parents of Grayson did say that they wanted the PGA to continue the tournament because that is what he wanted, but I don't know. There's nothing's came out yet. He struggled a lot with alcohol, anxiety, and depression. He had a fiance, no kids, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors. Again, this is rumors, not true. I want to make that very clear. This is not This has not been found true, but there have been a lot of rumors about that he may have it may have been self-induced. But again, that's just a rumor. That's not a fact yet. I want to make that very clear. That is not a fact yet. But it sounds like it could have been self-induced, which would be even more unfortunate. He was 30 years old. He just won earlier this year in a PGA tournament in Hawaii. He played in over 140 events with the PGA. He had 2 PGA Tour wins. I'm looking at stats now. He made 66 out of his 140 cuts. He finished top 10 times. He finished top 5, 3, third. He came in third place once, and then I don't know. He joined the tour in 2017. He was super young when he qualified for his first tournament. He was like 16 years old, his second youngest. But yeah, earlier this year he won the 2024 Sony Open in Hawaii, and in 2016, 2017, the 2017 Barbasol Championship. Yeah, it's just super unfortunate. Again, I don't know too many facts at this point of the time of this recording. Again, I just found out about this yesterday, Saturday, the 25th. But man, you just hate to see it. Now, obviously, he wasn't a Scotty Scheffler or somebody great, but again, he was good. I mean, if you're in the PGA, you're good, and then if you're winning these tours and stuff, you got to be good. But yeah, they're still playing the tournament. His partner was distraught beyond belief. Yeah, you just hate to see it. And I'm hoping we get more information within this upcoming week, and I'll probably talk about it if there's more information coming out next week. But we are going on to this news segment. Not news segment. This is the only time this will be a segment. But May 29th, 2023 was when we uploaded our first podcast to this channel, not knowing what we were doing, told about Podbean, how to make podcasts. We filmed on an iPhone camera, an iPhone 13 camera. It was me, my brother Micah, and our friend Hunter. For you new guys that are new, there used to be 3 of us, HatTrick Sports. It was originally going to be called the HatTrick. We had 3 different logos made, all with the mindset of being called the HatTrick. And then we uploaded the first podcast, and it was the HatTrick Sports Podcast. And then it's kind of evolved to HatTrick Sports, and I think it's going to stick with that. But again, it did start with, it was Hunter was in the middle, I was here, Micah was here. It was filmed in a dining room, the first 20 or so episodes. We did one in North Carolina with the view. We have this really cool project coming out soon. We're filming a documentary on the first year, pretty much, from trio to solo. A documentary about HatTrick Sports and how we've grown, and just the lives of being teenagers, trying to grow a podcast. But now it is just pretty much me, and yeah, I want to thank you guys, obviously, for 1 year. I mean, it's great that that we're still here. We're obviously growing. We're doing better. If you look at it, a lot of people are like, hey, they haven't gotten better in a year. But if you really look back at our first episode and look at it now, we are so much better between the editing, between talking on camera. I know I say a lot, and there's a lot of pauses and stuff, but if you look back at episode 1, holy cow, it's so hard listening. I don't know how anybody listened. We had, I think at this point, hundreds of people listening to that first podcast, but it was just wild. And then in August, we blew up on TikTok. We were filming, and you would just look back, and every 10 seconds, you would see 9+ notifications. It was just absolutely wild. That's where we gained a lot of our followers, and then we had another little jump later in the year, in December kind of time. But again, I want to thank everybody who's watched, all the haters even, the followers, the viewers, anybody who's ever watched, liked, shared, comment, any sort of interaction. We started the merch. We brought out a lot of merch there, and then we're coming out with merch of the week every single week for the next few months. And again, none of this would have been possible without the viewers, and then people who buy stuff with partnerships that we had with Omada was a big partnership that we did for a few months there. And everybody who has even heard of the name HatTrick Sports we cannot thank you enough. Me, Micah, Hunter, we're all still buddies. We're all still friends. Me and Micah are obviously brothers. But a lot more information will come out with this HatTrick Sports documentary that we're coming out with. But again, thank you everybody who's watched, everybody who's commented, everything. I cannot thank you guys enough. But 1 year. Wednesday, May 29th will be 1 year of HatTrick Sports. And again, we have grown so much thanks to you guys. We got camera, we got this tablecloth. Really, it's been great. It's just been absolutely amazing and incredible to do this for the last year, to dedicate a portion of my life to this. But beyond that, we have March of the Week. Now, one of the most famous things said all time on HatTrick Sports is our buddy Nathan. He knows a lot about baseball. He's going into like car racing and stuff. He knows a lot about a lot of things, but he doesn't know a lot about football. So me and Micah we're filming a podcast with Nathan, and he says one of the funniest things ever. Mike is talking about the different logos between the dog pound, the elf on the middle of the fields, and the helmet as a logo. And Nathan's like, wait, what's the team name? And we're like, oh, they're called the Browns, named after the owner. And he's like, what is a Brown? And that clip went viral. Not viral. It had tons of views, a lot of interactions between that. Like, oh my God, this guy doesn't, like, he's right. Like, what is a Brown? So we are coming out with what is a Brown shirt. It has all three different logos associated with the Browns. And again, thank you, Nathan, for obviously coming on, but making one of the best quotes of all time and one of the best shirts of all time. We have all three logos. You got the helmet, you got the dog pound, and you got the elf on the middle of the field. And what is a Brown? I mean, nobody knows. No, we obviously know that it was named after the owner of the Browns. But get yours at shophattricksports.com. Use TikTok 30. I always forget the codes. I don't know. I think it's... One second. Let me get on here. I can tell you guys the code real quick. Use TikTok 30 in shophattricksports.com for 30% off your first order. Or if you guys are on Instagram, use Insta20 for 20% off your first order. Again, thank you guys for whoever's bought it. Everybody who's bought it, anybody who's checked out the website. It means a lot, and I think you guys will enjoy the What is a Brown shirts. We got some Browns fans. Obviously, Hunter, former co-host of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, big Browns fan. And so get yours, shophattricksports.com. Use code TikTok30 for 30% off. Instagram Insta20 for 20% off on Instagram. So I'm looking at... I'll talk about this for a second. We are on TikTok Live. For you guys that are just watching the podcast, make sure to follow on TikTok. We are on TikTok Live. If Zerlonk 1995 is still on, comment, and I'll explain kind of what happened to the other guys. So again, if you want live interactions on the podcast, free shout-outs, make sure you join on TikTok. Follow on TikTok. But if you are still on TikTok, Zerlak, comment and I'll kind of explain. All right, maybe he's not on anymore. I'll check back in a second. But we are going... One second, let me check here. We are going to move on to Hall of... Oh, whoa, 1 second. That was weird. I wasn't even thinking about what I was saying. We are now on to Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. It's time for Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? There we go. Hall of Fame, yay or nay. We have already done this guy before, but this guy just got brought up. He just got ejected a couple days ago, and then the next game he hit a home run to secure the win. We have Bryce Harper for Hall of Fame, yay or nay. I forget what we said last time. I tried to look it up, and I remember a few different guys said a few different things. He has won 2-time Most Valuable Player, Rookie of the Year, 7-time All-Star, Home Run Derby champion, NLCS MVP, 3-time Silver Slugger. He obviously played for the Nationals for about 6 seasons, and then the Phillies ever since. Bryce Harper, Hall of Fame, yay or nay. He has a career WAR of 48.3. He has over 5,500 ABs, over 1,500 hits, over 300 home runs. He has a career batting average of 281. In today's day and age, that is way above average, and that is good. He has over 1,000 runs, over 900 RBIs, 136 stolen bases. A career OPS of 913 and OPS plus of 113. Now, if you look at these stats, and he's been playing since 2012, all right, you think about, all right, he's been playing for 12 seasons. All right, think about that. He's been playing for 12 seasons. All right. He has a 48 career WAR. He's not even close to done. Don't get me wrong. He's not even close to done. He has a 2 wins above replacement so far this season, and we're only 2 months into this season. So he's just getting started if you really think about it. But that is on average 4 wins above replacement a season throughout his career. And again, this season he's just something different these last few seasons, and he's not even close to done. I'm going to look at Sorry, I'm going to try to find his WAR throughout the seasons. Here we go. Or let's just look at him throughout the seasons. So he led the league in a whole lot of stuff in 2015. He led the league in runs, home runs. He had 42 home runs in 2015. That is absolutely wild. If you have over 30 home runs, that is wild. And he had 42, so he obviously led the league in that. This is 2015's year that he won MVP, obviously because of all these home runs. And he had the what was his batting average? He had the batting average of 330. Just unbelievable season for Bryce Harper in 2015. He was still with the Nationals at that time. He had on-base percentage of 460. If you're getting on base almost half the time, that's just absolutely crazy. I think on-base percentage is bigger than batting average. Bigger than batting average because, again, at the end of the day, you're just trying to score runs and wins, so on-base percentage obviously helps with that. And then OPS is obviously the split between OPS and slugging, on-base percentage and slugging. But he led the league in OPS in 2015 and slugging that season and OPS plus that season. And then, he won Silver Slugger that season. He was obviously an All-Star and MVP. Hands down, the best season he has ever had in his career. He led the league in intentional bases on balls in 2015 with 20 just because of how good he was. He was a little worse in 2016. He only batted 243, and then he jumped back up after that season. But he led the league in walks with 130 walks in 2018, his last season with the Nats. That is wild. 130 walks is crazy. Oh my goodness. And in 2015, he had 124 walks. These pitchers got to give it, unless they're intentionally walking him. Holy cow, 130 walks? That's almost one per game. That's almost a walk per game. That is crazy. I never realized that. 2020, he led in walks again. That was the shortened season. He had 49 walks, which again is still a lot proportion-wise. 2021, he led the league in doubles, slugging in 2021, OPS and obviously OPS plus. He won MVP in 2021 as well, along with a Silver Slugger. He was. Does that say? Yeah. In his rookie season, he won Rookie of the Year. in 2012. The story of Bryce Harper, of him dropping out and getting his GED and stuff, is absolutely wild. Going first overall. It's just our first round. I think he went first overall. Was Bryce Harper first overall? I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah. In 2010, he was in the minors for a couple seasons, only 2 seasons, and then he came up to the big leagues. Won Rookie of the Year, was an All-Star. He was 30th in MVP. The next season, another All-Star. He kind of had compared to him, he had a weaker season in 2014, and then in 2015, he had an All-Star MVP, Silver Slugger, 16 All-Star, 17 All-Star, 12th place for MVP, 18th All-Star, and then he had a couple years where he was okay, and then 2021 he came back up with the MVP, Silver Slugger, then 22 All-Star, 23 MVP and Silver Slugger, and then this season he'll win at least an All-Star. But, amazing career for Bryce Harper. I love his story the story of him is crazy about how he dropped out at 16 and so on. And he's young. How old is Bryce Harper? Over under 30 and a half. Bryce Harper's age. I'm going to go with the over. I think he's 30. Oh my God, what a line. He is 31 years old. That is wild. That was the best line I have ever given. He is 31 years old. Wow. I promise I didn't look that up before. But yeah, he's young. He's still got, not 10 years. He probably has 8 years left in him. He's in the Hall of Fame. It's a yay from me. He is in the HatTrick Sports Hall of Fame. Again, I forget what he put last time, what we voted on last time we did him. But yeah. 2-time MVP. Think about it. He was the best in the league at 2 points in his career. He was the best rookie in his career. 7-time All-Star. He was one of the best players 7 different times. Silver Slugger. Yeah. Home Run Derby champion. Obviously, he loved hitting home runs in that 2015 season. But I think that is it for the podcast. Thank you guys for watching episode 48 of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, including YouTube for all the visuals. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter for the latest headlines, daily TikToks and news, short form content, graphics. You'll see it all there. And check out Shop HatTrick Sports for your merch of the week or any other merch that you might want. It's on there. And we will see you guys next week for episode 49. Thank you guys very much for 1 year. And we'll see you guys later.